Welcome back to Exciting Europe.
You're in Milan. You've seen the Duomo. Now, step 500 feet off the main square and find a secret masterpiece, St. Mary by St. Satyrus. This church is an absolute must-see for one reason. It's a magnificent lie. The brilliant Donato Bramante only had 97 centimeters of space, so he created the famous false choir, an ultimate illusion that perfectly simulates 30 feet of depth. It's art and science solving an impossible problem. But there's more. You're standing on a 9th century time capsule, the ancient chapel with rare Byzantine frescoes. Inside, find the raw emotion of Fonduli's terracotta pietà. If you love architecture, perspective, or just a great hidden story, this Milanese gem is waiting. Don't miss the illusion.
The church is conveniently located right in the heart of Milan's historic center, just a very short walk from the Duomo on Via Torino. For public transport access, visitors can take the Metro Red Line, M1, or Yellow Line, M3, to the Duomo stop, or utilize tram lines 2, 3, and 14, which stop nearby on Via Torino. The church is open to the public daily, and these hours generally allow for continuous viewing of the perspective illusion. From Monday through Saturday, hours are 9:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m., and on Sunday, the church is open from 2 p.m. to 5:30 p.m.
As you step inside the church, your first thought might be that it looks like any other small, modest church. The main area you walk into, the nave, is divided into 3 sections or aisles, with the central part being the widest. This space has a high barrel-shaped ceiling covered in painted squares and rosettes, giving it a structured, classical look. The side aisles have simpler vaulted ceilings, decorated with painted lunettes, half-moon shapes, and fake round windows. At first glance, it appears to be a typical, though pleasant, Renaissance space. However, look closely at the architecture. The church was meant to be a full cross shape, but the top section, the choir, couldn't be built because of a street blocking the way. This created a huge architectural problem, which was solved with an even bigger architectural trick. This seemingly normal space is just the beginning. To truly appreciate Bramante's genius, we need to explore the parts that follow. Next, we will examine the dramatic central dome and the transept. Then, we will reveal the ingenious false choir illusion. Finally, we will step back in time to the ancient Chapel of San Satiro and the elegant Bramantesque Sacristy.
Now, move to the center of the church, where the nave meets the transept. This space is completely dominated by the central dome. The dome is painted beautifully in gold and blue, featuring recessed coffers. At the very top, light streams in from a small opening called a lantern. Look down to the base of the dome. This area is decorated with textured terracotta reliefs created by the sculptor Agostino Fonduli. In the 4 curved triangular corners supporting the dome, you will see 4 round frescoes depicting the evangelists, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, by artists from the school of Vincenzo Folpa. Finally, look down the right arm of the transept. You will see a beautiful 19th century altar that holds a statue of St. Aloysius Gonzaga, showing him aiding a plague victim.
Now, turn your attention past the main altar. This is the moment the whole church has been building up to. Because a city street blocked the space, Bramante was unable to build a full choir, the area typically reserved for the clergy. He faced a massive dilemma. The church would look unbalanced without it. His brilliant solution was to create the world's most famous architectural trick. What you are looking at is not a deep space, it is an illusion. Using plaster, stucco, and paint, Bramante constructed the famous false choir, Finto Coro. This entire monumental space, which appears to extend many meters into the distance with receding columns and a deep vaulted ceiling, is actually built within a depth of less than 1 meter. It is one of the earliest and most spectacular examples of linear perspective used to deceive the eye. The entire structure is angled and modeled in a special relief, making everything shrink perfectly towards a single vanishing point. If you move even a little to the side, the illusion begins to break, revealing just how flat the architecture truly is. This impossible space not only solved a physical building problem, but also created a visual miracle, perfectly framing the miraculous image of the Virgin and Child housed at the altar.
We've covered the nave, the dome, and the false choir. The only remaining indoor features from our list are the Bramantesque Sacristy and the ancient Chapel of San Satiro. In the right aisle of the church, you'll find the entrance to the Bramantesque Sacristy. This space has a unique character, appearing decidedly more slender and vertical than the rest of the church. Its design is based on an octagonal plan, a shape often used for early Christian baptisteries, and it is structured vertically on 2 separate horizontal levels. The lower level features alternating flat and curved niches, separated by decorated corner pilasters. These pilasters end at a frieze that holds the rich terracotta decorations of putti and heads created by the sculptor Agostino Fonduli. The upper level forms an ambulatory, or walkway, defined by befora windows divided into 2 lights, separated by pilasters that continue the decorative patterns of the level below. The entire space is covered by an 8-segment dome, with a small circular window, or oculus, in each segment. Overall, the architecture represents an elegant fusion of the clean, clear geometric lines typical of the Tuscan Renaissance style, with the rich decorative density of the Lombard style.
We now step into the oldest part of the complex, the Chapel of San Satiro, which dates back to the 9th century. This small chapel is the historical heart of the church complex. Bramante incorporated this ancient structure when he built the larger church, but he couldn't completely change its unique form. The chapel has an unusual and ancient 3-apse plan, meaning it's structured like a square with 3 semicircular ends. When you look closely at the walls, you can see columns from different periods. Some are made of stone and are believed to have been taken from late Roman buildings, while others are newer terracotta additions from Bramante's era. This contrast makes the chapel a fascinating architectural time machine. Inside is the spectacular Terracotta Pietà by Agostino Fonduli. This group of figures is famous for its intense realism and emotion, showcasing the raw, expressive style of the Lombard Renaissance.
Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the secrets of Santa Maria, Presso San Satiro, a place where art, mathematics, and optical illusion come together in less than 1 meter of space. We have many more videos just like this one. Be sure to check out our Milan playlist for an array of highly practical and fascinating content, covering everything from Milan Transport Explained and Milan airports to the ultimate Milan in 1-day itinerary, the best 1-day trips from Milan, and the city's essential galleries, museums, and intricate churches and basilicas. Don't forget to like this video if you were amazed by the false choir. Subscribe for more architectural secrets, and let us know in the comments which Milanese masterpiece should we uncover next. See you in the next video.